Did you know light has no shadow? The flame has no shadow because light cannot cast darkness. And in the same way, God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. God has no hidden sin. He has no evil motives. He has no corruption. There is zero darkness in God. Everything he is perfectly holy. If you like Christian,
Representative. Sorry, that just sounds like a robotic call center. Remote employee. Remote fits this situation perfectly, by the way. You'll see that in a few minutes. Remote employee that seems to be reading off a script instead of talking to people like humans, right here in reality. So right here in reality, I don't understand why there are, most of the pictures of, their character, Jesus, that is impersonating someone, by the way. There was someone there, but it just wasn't that person. This is more suitable to them, and there are primary reasons for that. Why this character, Jesus, is always positioned as sunblock. He's always right in front of the sun. I've mentioned this before. I went over a whole video on this. Even his mother, Mary. So you're blocking the main source of light. It's interesting. You're blocking the main source of light. So this goes right along the lines of, not only are there different views on this, but there are different gods. There are many different gods in the Bible. There isn't one way in which this light is viewed. There's many ways in which it is viewed. The main source of light, that is absolutely the mega charger on Earth, is what we retain well. They actually don't retain that at all. They don't hang on to it at all. It's a foreign invader to them. It's rejected. As if it's an organ that was put in the body that does not belong there. The body attacks it, and the body appears attacked on the outside as a result. But artificial light, light beyond that is not natural, they could easily accept that type of light that's less harmful to them. And the artificial light, so let's talk about the artificial light, the light that is not natural. The light that is not natural, and also isn't the light that is inside, that is retained inside from this light, that most need the sunblock from. That light doesn't always have a non-existing shadow. Depends on what you do in the room setting, the surroundings, how everything is positioned, how the lighting is positioned around that light, that specific light. It's multiple different light sources. We get these light sources in order to, attract more views. We look more attractive. We have better lighting, right? People know how to play with lighting. So in a certain sense, yes, there is that way. But then when there is multiple different sources of light, especially if we're talking about the main source of light, you will see a shadow behind that small spurt of fire. The darkness behind it is present when you actually look deeper and when you shed other forms of light on it. That is the true message. And that has showed you that you have selected the proper prompts in your calling to get the right representative to explain that to you. The universe will explain it, without, verbally explain it. But I think you get the metaphors here.
Who said, Mom, I'm living out in the desert. The sun burning me up out here. Baby, sun burn everything up in the desert. What the hell you doing in the desert? Ain't no trees, ain't no water, ain't nothing to cool off the sun. It's so harsh out there. If you look at the map of the United States, you're going to find like something scorched this planet. There was a war over here, and something burnt right down through the middle of the United States. That's why the country looked divided, not just by the Mississippi. When you go and look at the map of the United States, you start going west, there's a scourge that goes right down through the center. And these are your desert areas. Something happened over there. That don't mean for you to stay over there. Baby, honey, we belong in the tropics. If you ain't got no trees, you ain't got no water, you ain't got no life. Come on, y'all. And if you have a hard time, come outside in the morning. Watch the sunrise. Stay out there as long as you can from the sunrise up. And then go in the house to cool off. Hell, even the animals look for the shade when it get too hot. Come on, baby. Y'all got to be smarter than that. Drink, plenty.
So what have we learned today, class? I'm talking about beyond the realization that shade isn't bad until it compounds. There's much shade thrown, and then it becomes darkness. That's darkness. But also, what do we learn about this description?
God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. God has no hidden sin. He has no evil motives. He has no corruption. There is zero darkness in God.
A little bit like the documented words that Christopher Columbus said in his description of who he found in America. Didn't he find people that were that he said could be easily conquered? There was no evil motive on their end. There was no evil there present already. There was none of that. It was very easy for him. The opposite of everything he just said was what Christopher Columbus and the Europeans seemed to be. Wow, isn't that interesting? Now you're starting to see the parenthesis that has been very vague at the end of God, which encases the S. Because obviously this is all alongside the documentation. They described the people they found as black-skinned. So I don't think he understands who he's describing. The ones that retain the natural light within. The natural light.